I want you to imagine a future where AI is used for everything. Nobody writes any stories, nobody uses creativity, and nobody creates any art. People become lazier and lazier as the technology gets better and better. Well, what if I told you that that future might be closer and realer than you think? The problem is rooted in AI in education. AI in education is not being used as a tool to support students, but as a way to skip work entirely. Today we'll be going over how students use AI as a shortcut and not a way to learn better, the correct uses of AI, and the negative effects that a chatbot has on a student's learning. Now, before we go any further, we have to remember that AI is a tool. It can have a positive or negative effect depending on how it's used. And it's immediately apparent that it's not being used responsibly. AI is being used by students to skip work, not support it. The problem is students simply don't want to do work. They much rather leave it off to an AI. AI is seen as a cheat code, not as a way to get better. It's an easy A, not something that can help them understand their work. According to a study by USC Today, out of 1,000 college students, the majority of them used AI for executive help, which means instead of using the AI to deepen their understanding of the topic, the AI would do the work for them. And unfortunately, students can pretty easily get away with this due to humanizers. Now, it's pretty clear how students are using AI, but what is the correct use of a chatbot in education? Well, there are many ways that we can use AI to support students and teachers, and it can be used as a way to give students ideas on how to improve their work. It can be used to increase accessibility by offering translation, vocabulary help, and optional formats. And they can take the load off of teachers who then in turn can spend more time with students one-on-one. So AI is starting to sound pretty good for education, and it can be, but the drawbacks are outweighing the rewards. AI is causing more problems than it's solving, and ignoring these disadvantages can only lead to disaster. Unfortunately, AI is still developing, and it has the tendency to blurt out blatantly wrong information. Students who don't use AI often fall behind due to an unfair advantage. That might not sound like much, but these students often try to get high in class rankings like top 10% or valedictorian and salutatorian, and they're crippling themselves by their good morals. On the flip side, students that constantly use the AI are relying on a chatbot to do simple tasks. According to a study by the University of Pennsylvania, students who had access to ChatGPT during the practice questions did 17% worse on the exam than those who didn't. And that might not sound like much, but that could be the difference between a pass and a fail. AI isn't being used to help students, it's destroying their ability to critically think. In conclusion, people are becoming more and more dependent on AI. Students who don't use AI fall behind due to an unfair advantage. And schools are struggling to find the balance between replacing creativity with AI and going without technology altogether. Now remember that future I told you about where AI is used for everything? Well, we can still prevent it. As a teacher or a parent, simply monitoring a child's use of AI can do wonders. You can set boundaries on how to correctly use a chatbot to further your learning and not to do the work for you. Schools also can implement an AI that only can be used as a research tool, not as a way to generate answers. And that will solve so many problems. So now these approaches will take time, maybe even money, but it will all be worth it if we can protect humanity's two greatest inventions, creativity and ingenuity.